If you've been watching The Young and the Restless lately, then you already know, trouble is quietly building beneath the surface, and this time, it could explode in a way no one sees coming. Right now, all eyes are on Abby Winters. On the outside, Abby's life might still look somewhat stable. But if you look a little closer, it's clear that her marriage to Devon Winters is hanging by a thread. What used to be a strong, passionate relationship is now filled with tension, silence, and growing emotional distance. And when cracks like that start to form, that's when mistakes happen. That's when people start looking elsewhere for comfort. And Abby? She has a history of doing exactly that. Longtime fans will remember that this wouldn't be the first time Abby has crossed a line. In the past, she shocked everyone when she betrayed Chance Chancellor, choosing to be with Devon instead. That moment changed everything and proved one important thing about Abby's character. When she feels emotionally lost, she doesn't always make the safest choices. Now, history might be getting ready to repeat itself. Because lately, there's been a noticeable shift in Abby's world, one that involves someone from her past. Daniel Romalotti Jr. At first, it might seem harmless. Just two people talking. Sharing opinions. Connecting over mutual frustrations. But in Genoa City, nothing stays innocent for long. Abby and Daniel have been spending more time around each other recently, and what's interesting is how naturally they seem to click. There's a comfort there, an understanding that feels deeper than just casual conversation. And part of that connection comes from the situation they're both dealing with right now. They're on the same side when it comes to Devon's stance, especially regarding Mariah. Abby feels that Devon is being far too harsh, too rigid, and unwilling to see the emotional side of things. And Daniel? He sees it the same way. That shared perspective is pulling them closer. Because when two people feel misunderstood by the ones closest to them, they often end up understanding each other instead. And that's where things start to get complicated. But here's the twist that makes this even more interesting. Abby and Daniel aren't just new friends reconnecting. They actually have a history. A romantic one. Years ago, back during Abby's bold naked heiress phase, she and Daniel were involved. It wasn't just a passing moment, it was real, it was emotional, and it left a mark. Now, with both of them facing emotional struggles again, that old connection could easily come back to life. Because sometimes, the past doesn't stay in the past. Sometimes, it waits for the perfect moment to return. And right now, that moment might be here. Daniel, for his part, hasn't exactly had an easy journey lately either. He's been dealing with deep emotional pain, especially after the loss of Heather Stevens. That kind of grief doesn't just disappear, it lingers, shaping every decision, every feeling, every connection that comes after. And in the middle of that pain, Daniel found himself getting close to someone else, Tessa Porter. For a while, it looked like maybe, just maybe, something real could grow between them. There was chemistry. There was hope. There was the possibility of moving forward. But that hope didn't last. In the end, reality stepped in. Tessa was pulled back toward Mariah, and Daniel made the difficult decision to step aside. He encouraged Tessa to fix her relationship, even though it meant sacrificing his own feelings. And now, he's stuck in that awkward space between friendship and something more that never got the chance to fully exist. Trying to act normal. Trying to move on. But still carrying that emotional weight. So when you look at Abby and Daniel side by side, you start to see a pattern. Two people. Both emotionally vulnerable. Both feeling disconnected from the relationships that are supposed to ground them. Both searching, whether they realize it or not, for comfort, for understanding, for something that feels real again. And when those kinds of emotions collide, it rarely ends in something simple. Because the truth is, emotional connections like this can quickly turn into something deeper. Something riskier. Something that crosses a line. Right now, nothing has officially happened. There's no betrayal yet. No shocking moment. No point of no return. But the foundation? It's already being built. Every conversation. Every shared glance. Every moment of agreement against Devon. It's all adding up. And the more time they spend together, the harder it becomes to ignore what's really happening beneath the surface. So the big question is, are Abby and Daniel heading towards something dangerous? Or is this just a temporary connection that will fade before it goes too far? Because if there's one thing fans of The Young and the Restless know for sure, it's that in Genoa City, emotional bonds don't stay harmless for long. As Abby and Daniel continue to spend more time together in The Young and the Restless, something begins to shift subtly at first, but impossible to ignore if you're paying attention. What started as simple conversations is slowly turning into something more personal, more emotional, more dangerous. Because now, it's not just about agreeing on Devon's decisions anymore. It's about how they feel when they're around each other. There's a sense of ease between them, a kind of comfort that both Abby and Daniel seem to be missing in their own lives right now. And that kind of connection? It can be incredibly powerful, especially when both people are feeling vulnerable. Abby, for example, is still struggling with the growing distance between her and Devon. Every conversation with him seems to turn into an argument. Every disagreement feels heavier than it should. And the issue at the center of it all, Mariah's situation, has only made things worse. Abby can't understand why Devon is being so cold, so unyielding. To her, it feels like he's lost his sense of compassion. Like he's choosing control over understanding. And the more she tries to get through to him, the more he pulls away. That emotional gap? It's getting wider by the day. So naturally, Abby starts turning to someone who actually listens. Someone who understands her point of view without judgment. Someone like Daniel. And for Daniel, the situation isn't much different. He's still carrying the weight of everything that's happened with Tessa. Even though he made the right choice by stepping back, that doesn't mean it was easy. It doesn't mean those feelings just disappeared overnight. If anything, they've left a space behind. An emptiness. And now, Abby is stepping into that space without even trying. Their conversations are becoming longer. More meaningful. Less guarded. They're opening up about things they wouldn't normally share with anyone else. And when that kind of emotional honesty starts to build, it creates a bond that can be very hard to break. But here's where things take a more complicated turn. Because at some point, it stops being just emotional. There are moments now, small ones, but noticeable, where the energy between Abby and Daniel feels different. A little more intense. A little more charged. A look that lasts just a second too long. A pause in conversation that says more than words ever could. And in those moments, both of them feel it. That unspoken tension. That question neither one of them is ready to ask out loud. What is this becoming? Of course, they try to ignore it. They tell themselves it's nothing. Just friendship. Just support. Just two people helping each other through a difficult time. But deep down, they both know it's not that simple. Because when emotions are involved, especially unresolved ones, things can spiral quickly. And the truth is, Abby is already starting to drift further away from Devon. Instead of trying to fix things at home, she's finding reasons to be elsewhere. Finding reasons to talk to Daniel. To spend time with him. To feel that sense of connection she's missing in her marriage. And Devon? He's noticing. Maybe not every detail. But enough to realize that something isn't right. The distance. The tension. The feeling that Abby is slowly slipping away from him. And the more he senses that, the more frustrated he becomes. Which only makes things worse. Because instead of bringing them closer together, that frustration pushes Abby even further away. Straight into Daniel's orbit. And Daniel, despite knowing how complicated this could get, isn't exactly pulling back either. He understands the risks. He knows Abby is married. He knows getting involved could lead to consequences neither of them are ready to face. But emotions don't always follow logic. And right now, what he feels when he's around Abby, it's starting to outweigh what he knows is right. That's the danger of situations like this. They don't explode all at once. They build. Slowly. quietly. Until one moment changes everything. And it feels like Abby and Daniel are getting closer to that moment with every passing day. So now the question becomes: how long can they keep pretending this is just friendship? How long before one of them crosses the line? Because in The Young and the Restless, we've seen this pattern before. Two people connect. Emotions grow. Lines blur. And eventually, someone makes a choice they can't take back. By now, the connection between Abby and Daniel in The Young and the Restless is no longer something subtle hiding in the background. It's real. It's growing. And most importantly, it's becoming harder to control. What once felt like harmless support has now turned into something much deeper, something neither of them can easily walk away from anymore. Because at this point, it's not just about conversations or shared opinions. It's about how they feel when they're together. And that feeling? It's starting to cross a line. Abby can sense it. Daniel can feel it too. But neither one has said it out loud yet. Instead, they keep dancing around the truth, pretending that what's happening between them is still innocent, still safe, still within the boundaries of friendship. But the reality is, those boundaries are already fading. And it all leads to one critical moment. A moment that could change everything. It doesn't happen in a dramatic, over-the-top way. No big announcement. No warning. Just a quiet, emotionally charged situation, exactly the kind that leads people to make decisions they never planned to make. Maybe it starts with a difficult day. Abby, once again, finds herself in another frustrating situation with Devon. Another argument. Another failed attempt to get through to him. Another reminder that the connection they once had is slipping further away. She feels unheard. Alone. Emotionally drained. And without even thinking too much about it, she turns to the one person who has been there for her through all of it. Daniel. When they meet, there's already tension in the air. Not the uncomfortable kind, but the kind that feels heavy with unspoken emotion. They talk, like they always do. At first, it's about the usual things: Devon, relationships, the stress they're both dealing with. But then the conversation shifts. It becomes more personal. More vulnerable. More honest than ever before. Abby starts to open up in a way she hasn't with anyone else. She admits how lost she feels. How disconnected she is from her own life. How she doesn't even recognize her relationship anymore. And Daniel listens. Not just casually, but deeply. He understands. Because in his own way, he's feeling something very similar. That sense of being stuck. Of wanting something more but not knowing how to get there. And in that moment, they're not just two people talking. They're two people sharing something real. Something emotional. Something that brings them closer than ever before. And that's when it happens. That shift. That silent realization. The moment where both of them understand that this is no longer just friendship. There's a pause. A look. One of those moments where time seems to slow down, and everything else fades into the background. And suddenly, the distance between them doesn't feel so necessary anymore. Maybe it's a small step forward. Maybe it's just a hesitation before pulling away. Or maybe it's the moment they don't pull away at all. Because the truth is, moments like this don't come with clear decisions. They happen fast. Driven by emotion. By vulnerability. By everything that's been building up over time. And once that line is crossed, there's no going back. Even if nothing major physically happens right away, the emotional line itself has already been broken. And sometimes, that's even more powerful. Because now, everything changes. The way they look at each other. The way they talk. The way they feel. It's no longer simple. It's no longer safe. It's complicated. And risky. And filled with consequences that neither of them has fully thought through yet. Abby, especially, finds herself caught in a situation she didn't expect. Because deep down, she knows this isn't right. She knows she's still married. She knows what's at stake. But at the same time, she can't deny what she feels when she's with Daniel. That connection. That understanding. That emotional closeness she's been missing for so long. And Daniel? He's just as conflicted. He knows this could lead to disaster. He knows getting involved with Abby could hurt a lot of people, including himself. But emotions don't always listen to reason. And right now, reason is starting to lose. So the question is no longer if something will happen between them. It's when. Because once that emotional barrier is gone, it's only a matter of time before something bigger follows. Something undeniable. Something that will force them to face the reality of what they've started. And in The Young and the Restless, those kinds of moments? They never stay secret for long. By this point in The Young and the Restless, Abby and Daniel are no longer standing on the edge of something dangerous. They're already in it. Whether they fully admit it or not, that emotional line they crossed has changed everything. And now, the real challenge begins, not the connection itself, but what comes after. Because secrets? They don't stay hidden forever in Genoa City. At first, Abby tries to act like nothing has changed. She goes back home, faces Devon, and attempts to slip back into normal life. But it doesn't take long to realize, nothing feels the same anymore. Every conversation with Devon feels forced. Every moment together feels distant. There's a disconnect now that's impossible to ignore. And the hardest part? It's not just because of their ongoing disagreements. It's because Abby is carrying something she hasn't told him. Something that's quietly weighing on her. Guilt. Even if nothing fully physical has happened yet, emotionally, she knows she's already crossed into dangerous territory. And that kind of secret has a way of showing itself through hesitation, through body language, through the smallest changes in behavior. Devon starts to notice. At first, it's just a feeling. Something subtle. Something he can't quite explain. But the more time passes, the stronger that feeling becomes. He sees the distance in Abby's eyes. The way she avoids certain conversations. The way she seems distracted, like her mind is somewhere else. And slowly, suspicion begins to grow. Because Devon may not know the full truth yet. But he knows something is off. Meanwhile, Abby finds herself being pulled in two completely different directions. On one side, there's her marriage. The life she built. The commitment she made. And on the other side, there's Daniel. The person who understands her right now better than anyone else. The person who makes her feel heard, seen, and emotionally connected again. And the more time she spends in that emotional space with Daniel, the harder it becomes to fully return to her life with Devon. That's the danger of emotional affairs. They don't just create new feelings. They slowly replace the old ones. Daniel, on his side, is also starting to feel the pressure. What once felt like a natural connection is now becoming complicated. Heavy. Real. He can't ignore the situation anymore. He knows Abby is married. He knows Devon will eventually find out if things keep going this way. And he knows that when that happens, there's going to be fallout. Big fallout. But even with all that awareness, stepping back isn't as easy as it sounds. Because every time he tries to create distance, something pulls him back. A conversation. A moment. A look. And suddenly, he's right back where he started. Caught between what he knows is right and what he feels. And that internal conflict? It's only going to get worse. Because situations like this don't stay contained. They spread. They affect everything around them. And it's only a matter of time before someone else starts to notice. Maybe it's a small detail, like Abby and Daniel being seen together a little too often. Maybe it's a change in behavior that someone close to them picks up on. Or maybe it's Devon deciding to dig deeper into that feeling he can't shake. Whatever the trigger is, one thing is certain. The truth is getting closer to the surface. And once it comes out, there's no controlling what happens next. Because betrayal, even emotional betrayal, cuts deep. And Devon isn't someone who takes that lightly. If he finds out that Abby has been turning to Daniel, especially behind his back, it won't just hurt. It will change everything. Trust will be broken. Relationships will be tested. And the consequences won't just affect Abby and Devon. They'll ripple outward, impacting everyone connected to them. As for Abby, she's running out of time. The longer she stays caught between these two worlds, the harder the eventual fallout will be. Because sooner or later, she's going to have to make a choice. Stay and try to fix what's left of her marriage. Or risk everything for something that might not even last. And in The Young and the Restless, those choices? They never come without a cost. In The Young and the Restless, secrets have a way of surfacing when you least expect them. And for Abby and Daniel, that moment has finally arrived. After days, maybe even weeks of tension, distance, and growing suspicion, the truth can't stay hidden any longer. The emotional connection they tried to keep under control has left too many signs behind. Too many cracks. Too many unanswered questions. And eventually, Devon reaches his breaking point. At first, it's just confrontation. A simple but intense moment where Devon demands answers. He's tired of the distance, tired of the confusion, and most of all, tired of feeling like something is being kept from him. He asks Abby directly, "What's going on? Why has she changed? Why does it feel like she's no longer fully present in their marriage?" And in that moment, everything hangs in the balance. Because Abby has a choice. She can deny it. Deflect. Try to protect what's left of her relationship by hiding the truth. Or, she can be honest. And honesty, in situations like this, comes with consequences. Heavy ones. Maybe at first, Abby hesitates. You can almost feel the weight of the decision in the air. Because once she says it, once she admits that something has been happening between her and Daniel, there's no taking it back. No fixing it easily. No pretending it never happened. But the truth has a way of pushing itself forward. And eventually, it comes out. Maybe not in a dramatic confession, but in pieces. In emotions. In the inability to keep pretending. And when Devon realizes what's been going on, everything changes. The hurt hits first. That deep, undeniable pain of betrayal, not just physical, but emotional. Because in many ways, emotional betrayal cuts even deeper. It means that while he was trying to hold the relationship together, Abby was finding comfort somewhere else. Then comes the anger. The kind that builds quickly and explodes without warning. Questions turn into accusations. Conversations turn into arguments. And just like that, the fragile state of their marriage completely shatters. Devon isn't just upset. He feels disrespected. Blindsided. And most of all, replaced. As for Abby, this is the moment where everything she's been avoiding finally catches up with her. The guilt. The confusion. The emotional conflict. It all hits at once. Because even if she didn't plan for things to go this far, she can't deny her role in what happened. And now, she has to face the consequences. Real ones. Meanwhile, Daniel is pulled directly into the storm. He can't stay on the sidelines anymore. Not now. Not after the truth is out. Devon may confront him. Or maybe the tension builds until Daniel has no choice but to face him himself. Either way, it's not going to be a calm conversation. Because from Devon's perspective, Daniel crossed a line that should never have been crossed. And Daniel? He knows it. There's no easy defense here. No simple explanation that can undo what's been done. And that's what makes this situation so explosive. Because it's not just about one mistake. It's about a series of emotional choices that led them here. Choices that now affect everyone involved. So what happens next? That's where things get even more uncertain. Does Abby try to repair her marriage? Is there even anything left to repair? Or has too much damage already been done? And what about Daniel? Was this connection something real? Or just a temporary escape born out of pain and vulnerability? Because sometimes, what feels strong in the moment doesn't last once reality sets in. And in the aftermath of all this, both Abby and Daniel may be forced to confront a difficult truth. Was it worth it? Because while they may have found comfort in each other, they've also created chaos, broken trust, and set off a chain reaction that can't be undone. As for Devon, one thing is clear. He won't come out of this the same. Whether he chooses to walk away, fight back, or seek his own form of closure, this betrayal will leave a mark. A lasting one. And in The Young and the Restless, moments like this don't just end storylines. They create entirely new ones. New rivalries. New heartbreak. New drama that will keep unfolding long after the truth is revealed. So now the question is, what comes next? Because if there's one thing fans know for sure, it's that this is only the beginning.